What if I told you that the worst moment of your life could become the moment you feel Allah closest to you? Not as a theory, not as a comforting thought, but as a lived reality. This is the story of a Sahabi named Mus'ab ibn Umair, a man who lost everything, yet found Allah in a way most of us can only dream of. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why his grief became a beacon of faith for generations. Let's go back to the early days of Islam. Mus'ab was known in Makkah as the most handsome, the most refined, the most beloved young man of the Quraysh. His clothes were the finest, his perfume the most fragrant, his life the epitome of luxury. But when he heard the message of Islam, something inside him changed. He left his wealth, his status, even his family, all for the sake of Allah. His mother, in her anger, disowned him. She said, "Go to your beloved Muhammad. I no longer have a son." Mus'ab didn't argue. He didn't fight. He simply said, "Oh mother, I advise you to say the words of truth. There is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is his servant and messenger." This was the man who would later become the first teacher of Islam in Medina. The man who prepared the city for the Prophet's arrival. The man who carried the flag of Islam in the Battle of Uhud. And this is where his story takes a turn. The Battle of Uhud was fierce. The Muslims were outnumbered. At one point, the archers disobeyed the Prophet's orders, and the tide of the battle shifted. Chaos erupted. Mus'ab, carrying the flag, stood firm. He recited the Quran loudly, reminding the Muslims of their duty. But the enemy advanced. A man named Ibn Khamiyah struck Mus'ab's right hand, cutting it off. Mus'ab didn't flinch. He took the flag in his left hand and continued. Another strike. His left hand was severed. He held the flag with his arms, blood pouring out, and said, "Muhammad is only a messenger. Messengers have passed before him." Then, a final strike. Mus'ab fell. The flag fell. The battle raged on. When the Prophet came to see the martyrs after the battle, his heart broke. He saw Mus'ab's body, covered in blood, his hands severed. The Prophet recited the verse from the Quran, "Among the believers are men who have been true to their covenant with Allah. Of them, some have fulfilled their vow, and some are still waiting." Then, the Prophet looked at Mus'ab's body and said, "I saw you in Makkah. There was no one more refined than you. Your hair was perfectly combed, your clothes immaculate. And now, here you are, with your hair disheveled, covered in dust and blood." This was the moment. The moment Mus'ab's life of luxury was replaced with a death of sacrifice. The moment his grief, losing his hands, his life, his earthly existence, became the moment he was closest to Allah. So why does this story matter to you? Because grief is not the absence of faith. It is the fire that purifies it. When you lose something, your health, your wealth, a loved one, it's easy to feel like Allah has abandoned you. But Mus'ab's story teaches us something different. It teaches us that Allah is never closer to us than when we are broken. The Quran says, "And we are closer to him than his jugular vein." Not when you're happy. Not when you're successful. But when you're on the ground, bleeding, with nothing left to give. That's when Allah is nearest. So here's the question I want you to sit with. What if the thing you're grieving right now is not a punishment, but an invitation? An invitation to feel Allah's presence in a way you never have before? Mus'ab's hands were cut off, but his heart was held by Allah. Your loss may feel unbearable, but it is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a deeper connection with the one who never leaves you. I want to leave you with this thought. The next time you feel overwhelmed by grief, remember Mus'ab. Remember that his darkest hour became the moment he was wrapped in Allah's light. And yours can too. Make dua for patience. Make dua for understanding. And trust that Allah is with you, even when you can't see him. If this reminder touched your heart, Hit the like button, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for daily reminders that nourish your soul. And as you go about your day, remember this: verily, with hardship comes ease. Until next time, may Allah fill your heart with peace. Assalamu alaikum.